Good morning. I'm kind of talking a little quieter because it's Sunday and this is the room that I rent. If you don't know, usually I am headed in Charlene and taking off around about 4 weeks from now, the end of October, usually around there. But if you do know, hello if you're new. I've lived in a van for the past little over 3 years. And this year I see my DIY setup. Speaking of this, uh, of course, I got the wrong USB lightning cable, so I just ordered that. That will be coming tomorrow. I thought it was all set, so I've kind of jerry rigged these this up so that it's better sound. So, and I didn't want to hold the microphone or put it here because I always move. And anyway, okay. So I am staying home this winter. I rented a room. It's actually like a little studio apartment. I actually have two different closets. It's got hardwood floors, beautiful bed. Yeah, it's really nice here. And I live in Stillwater, Minnesota, which is a beautiful area. Anyway, so I am home because I just put my mom, Joy, I didn't put her there, you know, Joy had all input into, we toured places for assisted living facilities. She's actually legally blind because she has macular degeneration. And it was getting to a point, I'm going to be 59 in October. So just in like 27 days. Um, and I am not retired. I am not independently wealthy. My mom lived in a one-bedroom apartment. I thought I would live there with her. It just would not work out. There just was not enough room. Uh, and there are different types of things as far as when you live in assisted living, who can live with you. Um, and so, yeah, I ended up staying in the van pretty much all summer. And then now winter's coming, so I have to store the van because I can't live in the van in the winter. So we started touring assisted living facilities, and she found one that she loves. um, Actually, yesterday met with. I'm getting her on medical assistance. She only has like $8,000 left, which is good actually, because when you don't have much money, they only allow you to have $3,000 to apply for medical assistance to help you pay for it. And her rent for the assisted living facility is around $6,200 a month. So we just moved her in August 17th. Right now, I think it's September 29th today. So she hasn't been there long. And also, if you don't know, she's in litigation with a family member who, I have to say, allegedly uh, took a lot of money from her, and the trial will be in January. So I'm here for that too. All that to say, I have never heard this term before until just like a week and a half ago. And the term is called elder orphans. And I always wondered, because I am the one left to, help facilitate things for my mom. And, in my life, I was a single mom since my daughter was 1. She's now 23, got out of college, no help through college with anything. I was the one that helped her through all that. And it's called the sandwich generation. And that's what I am. That now I'm 59, not even retirement age yet. And then now I'm caretaking for my mom. Uh, but I always wondered if, like, I wasn't around, who would be advocating for her. And if you saw I did a video a couple of videos ago because now I'm passionate about sharing what I'm finding out going through all this, which is so much red tape, dealing with the county, dealing with the state. You don't know where to turn even to begin with. But that who would advocate for somebody who doesn't have anyone, and they're called elder orphans. I did not know there was a term for that, and it makes sense, although it's kind of a sad term. Uh, but an elder orphan is someone who has no immediate support system. Like maybe you were never married or you were a widower. Um, you have kids or you don't have kids. If you have kids, maybe you're estranged from them, or maybe they live out of the country, or they've just been deceased. There can be a plethora of reasons for that. And, as far as immediate family, maybe you don't have siblings, or maybe you have siblings you don't talk to, just like me, or, um, you know, family things happen and there is no one around. Maybe you don't have parents who are left. There could be a lot of reasons why you have no immediate support system. And as I was saying, I did a video a couple weeks ago about elder financial abuse. And I was flabbergasted to learn that it's over a 36 billion, not million, $36 billion a year fraud. And between, phishing and emails, uh, call scams, um, family stealing money, and they they know that they are going after a vulnerable part of society. And I guess for them, it's low hanging fruit. And they, it's easy prey for them. So I'm going to read you something. I'm going to be looking down at my computer. A lot of this stuff is numbers and statistics. So it's something that I need to read. So I am going to tell you more than 1 in 5 Americans older than 65 are or at risk of becoming elder orphans. And 23% of boomers will eventually be without family caretakers, according to Maria Torello Carney, who has studied the issue and is chief of geriatric and palliative medicine at Northwell Health of Great Neck, New York. Those figures don't include the countless parents whose adult children are not available or able for various reasons to assist them. I didn't think about that either. One of my sisters is in assisted living herself because she had strokes when she was 65. And so maybe you do have family or children, or they themselves are dealing with medical issues. And you may have even been one of the people helping to take care of them. And now you need help. And so there is just no one, just by those circumstances, to help take care of you. Even with the already high numbers of elder orphans set to skyrocket, because, we are in the boomers, they need more facilities now because we're all starting to age out, and that's me included. There's still a widely held assumption in the healthcare industry that everyone has a family caregiver in the wings. When you go in for a colonoscopy, they won't even do the procedure if you don't have someone to take you home. Everyone thinks we all have family. Well, we don't. And I have run into this myself. I'm estranged from my family, and I never even wanted to ask them for certain things because I felt like a burden. Long story short, it's a long story, but that's the short of it. And I have my daughter, she's 23, but she was away at college for 4 years. And even now that she's home, she has her own full-time job. She's a special needs teacher. She's getting married. She has her own life. And especially during business hours when you would have to make an appointment for doctor's appointments, caregiving, anything like that, that you don't want to burden people and have them take their time off to take care of you. I know personally, that I have been in this situation. Even taking my van in, I literally drove the van, dropped it off, and then walked like 10 miles back to where my car was because I have a lot of friends, but again, not people. I've been traveling for 3 years. I've been focused on my mom. And again, I don't want to be a burden on them to have to take their time off, their vacation time, their PTO time to help me, even though I know that they would and they have actually offered. But I just don't want to be a burden. So in this article, it talks about getting people around you and getting friends that you can rely on to help you, as you're getting older. But again, just not feasible for some of us. Uh, but so it says, if you are uncomfortable asking friends to make these decisions or if family dynamics prevent you from trusting distant relatives, you may consider a geriatric care manager. Never knew there was one of those. Again, I am learning as I go and I am just sharing what I learn. My eyes have been open, especially now as I'm getting older, to how prevalent this is. Or a professional advocate who can help coordinate care in your final years. Generally, geriatric care managers are specialized in elder care and can provide a variety of services from coordinating medical services to making home visits. I'm going to continue reading because it just gives so much information and it's so important. And I will link all where I found all this information below all the articles. Also on YouTube, there's videos that I watched. Again, just because I think that it is really something to think about earlier than we think we should, or even if we ever think about it at all. You may also consider planning many decisions in advance. I just did an interview with about estate planning, which now I realize how imperative that is that you do that beforehand, because otherwise you end up in a situation like my mom has now. My dad left enough money for her to comfortably retire and, you know, get help. But again, she's in litigation and that will be decided in January. But who knew that this would happen? Never in a million years did any of us think this would happen. But that's where things come up. And had she been prepared before and they had done estate planning where you could set those funds aside, that assisted living would not eat up all those funds. On medical assistance, talking to the social worker on Friday, when she's on medical assistance, yes, it helps with everything. It'll take her Social Security, but then she will only get $126 a month for any other kind of living expenses that she has. So just keep that in mind. Your bank should be able to assist you in setting up your accounts for automatic bill pay. I've already done that for my mom. It just makes it a lot easier on all of us. Prescriptions can be filled by a mail order pharmacy, and that's something that never really thought about, but yes, you can get your prescriptions by mail. You may want to provide a copy of your medical wishes in writing to your doctor and the local hospital records department. You can also pre-purchase and coordinate your burial plot and final arrangements. And that's another thing too. Do you have a living will? What's going to happen if something, happens out of the expected, an emergency or something? Who's going to be able to fulfill your final wishes for you? I have a living will. I've had one since I had my daughter. I have a will also. Again, since I had my daughter, those were things that I started to think about. And now I'm thinking about not just for her, but for my own care at the end of my life. Because also, I don't want to have to, and I don't like to put it this way, but be a burden on her. But again, life is stressful as it is, and it gets stressful having to take care of your own life, maybe if you still have kids, and then a parent's life. And I will tell you, attorney I know, both of his parents have dementia, and they both had to be put in dementia care. And he pays, although it sounds like either he or his parents, I'm not sure who, uh, pay $12,000 a piece. So it's $24,000 a month. And someone said to me the other day, and I haven't looked into it, but getting long term care, I heard is a wise decision. Again, something I'll have to look into and I'll probably talk about in the future here. So now it's all about learning about how to do these things before you get to where it really comes to where there is no choice. Continuing care retirement communities may be an option for your living situation. These provide space for independent living, assisted living, like where mom's at, and nursing home care should it be needed. These communities can offer single family homes or apartments with plenty of social activities to keep you active. Should you need assisted living or nursing home care, you would be able to move to a different area in the same facility, maintaining your life in a familiar area. So I just moved my mom August 17th, September 29th now. Just got her settled. Her apartment's beautiful. And yesterday found out her facility was sold to another facility. And I may have to move her to another facility. But I'm not freaking out yet. Did a little bit yesterday, but I'm crossing my fingers that that won't be needed, because she is starting to make friends. She actually went on an outing to the apple orchard. Okay, I just looked and my microphone was not green. So I'm sorry if the audio may have gone down. I'm getting the correct lightning charger for my Yeti microphone. That looks so professional. I'm getting it tomorrow. So hopefully that'll work. But so I apologize for that if that happened. So to just sum this up, yeah, I'm going to continue along my journey and sharing what I find out. And I am finding out so much. And for some reason, I filled out the forms for medical assistance in one county, the right county, but she got a letter from a different county saying that she wasn't eligible for housing. And so, thank goodness that the social worker showed up yesterday. My mom had an assessment regarding the medical assistance, and she had no idea. And a lot of things we talked about, I was kind of, not that I felt stupid, but I didn't even know where to start figuring all this out. And as I found out, having social workers, because we had one in the county she lived in when she was in the 55 plus, and I told this woman, I call all of you life preservers because there is no way. And she even said it's confusing for them even. So she has to go find out what's happening, why it was sent there. And again, fingers crossed. And then at the same time, I'm glad she was there, because that's when we found out that my mom's assisted living was being sold. And so what we're applying for is for her to get on a waiver, an elder waiver. And some assisted livings take them and some don't. And so just going to have to see what turns out here. Okay, it's time for me to stop because I put a new microphone on, but now my ring light just went out. So I'm out of here. Okay, thanks everybody for following along on these. Again, I think it's very important. I am just sharing as I go what I'm finding out, and what I'm finding out that planning is the way to go. Planning as soon as possible. Yeah, you know what to do. Go out, make an adventure. No matter how big or how small you have to sell everything and move into a van. Listen, this is the adventure right now. Go call someone you love, and as Joy says, tell them that you love them, and don't you dare forget your magic. Okay, I will see you in the next one. Bye.